There are many helplines up and down the country that are run by Rethink Mental Illness. I manage the services within Gloucestershire. This focuses specifically on people that are thinking about self-harm.
People contact the helpline for different reasons. We have people that are self-harming. They may be actually self-harming at the point of contact. They may be considering self-harm. They may not have self-harmed for years but are having thoughts and getting close to it. We also receive contact from friends, family members and professionals, in which case that would be a different support.
In one instance I had one woman who was in a park, I think it was about 10:30 at night, sitting in a park on her own in what she told me was her night clothes, about to self-harm and wanting to end it all. So you can go from that extreme to somebody who's in the comfort of their own flat and is ringing up because actually they thought they might feel a bit like self-harming, but they're not sure.
When I first started self-harming, I was scared and upset, and I needed to control how I felt. And the way of controlling how I felt and coping with everything was to physically hurt myself, to give me that release from everything. At its worst point, I was in hospital 3 or 4 times a week, either because of attempting suicide through various methods or self-harm, and the self-harming was 6 to 7 times a day, if not more. But I'd fallen into a trap of self-harm because every time I self-harmed it had less and less impact, so it had to become more severe to get the release that I needed. When I first started using the helpline, it was really nerve-wracking. I was too scared to pick up the phone, and when I did, I didn't know what to say. But eventually, after talking to them, it became a lot easier, and I realised that that was where I could get the help and I could speak without being judged. It's a helpline that's specifically for self-harm, so you know who you're talking to and you know that they're going to understand because it's on that topic, which makes it easier to talk to them and more reassuring.
Been described as kind of in a way like a mirror, that they can see what they're thinking and what's going on, and then change the way that they're doing things as a result of seeing that.
Before we end the call, it will be, so what are you going to do tonight? How can you keep yourself safe? Which helped to have that plan when I got off the phone, because it wasn't as scary and I knew what I was doing rather than going and hurting myself. The best thing about the helpline is that they have got a text service.
It helps people to be able to contact the helpline when they're unable to make that call, either because someone is around in the house so they're not able to use the phone, or it means that they can use it when they're in a situation where they're not able to talk to someone else, and so that they're able to text and get that support and help when it's needed.
If I'm on a bus and I'm in crisis, it's really important because at least I can text and get out how I feel there and then, rather than feeling in an awkward position and that I'm trapped and I can't talk, because that's the worst thing to feel.
Alongside self-harm support, we give information and signpost people to many different services that might be helpful. We often refer people to self-harm support peer groups, which people find particularly valuable as a place that they can go and seek support from people that are experiencing the same things or have experienced the same things in the past.
Before I'd never have imagined I'd do anything I've done, and now speaking in front of a lot of people about my experience of self-harm and basically running soon to be free self-harm self-help groups would never have been possible before, and that I've had people like the helpline that have played a part in my recovery. If a helpline hadn't have been there, I wouldn't have known that there were people there to professionally care or support or help. And I'm 100% certain that if it hadn't have been for a helpline, I wouldn't have seen my 19th birthday, because I wouldn't have had that hope.
I feel that the work we do on the helpline is actually making a difference to people, whether it's just keeping people from going another step along the self-harming spectrum, or whether it's actually, in some cases, people are coming out the other end and have stopped self-harming. I think without this service, where else would people be calling?